So the World Affairs Council of Kentucky and Southern Indiana is helping connect our community with the world around us. When you donate to this organization, you are helping them build support for the next generation. And they are serving the area by acting as a regional hub for international exchange, dialogue, and learning. And today we're joined by Executive Director Xiaoyin Jiao to tell us a little bit more about the great work that they are doing right here in this community. Thanks so much for stopping by on such a positive day, right? Like every day is positive here in this community, but it is great to celebrate, give for good, and highlight the different nonprofits. So let's talk about the World Affairs Council, because people may see that name and think, how is that local,
right?
and how do you do your work locally?
Sure. So the World Affairs Council has been around for almost 40 years. A lot of people don't realize that, but we started as an organization that really kind of tried to bring more of the world into our community, really acting as that bridge between the local and the global. And I think, nowadays, I think we all agree, we are much more connected than we have ever been, right? I mean, what happens across the oceans and the world really has an impact to us, right? I mean, whether it's in the wallets and on the shelves, empty shelves that we see these days, and then also just the pop culture we consume, right? So all aspects. So our work here really tries to kind of bridge some of the understanding about what it is that, how our work here, what we face as a community also has impact overseas, and then vice versa. It's really about coming together around shared interests and learning best practices through those exchange programs that we talk about, by bringing people in to talk about some of these really kind of seems like heavy topics, but they all have very, very important impact for us, whether it's climate change or the economy right now. Right, and then youth education is one of the big things.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that here. Talk about the work that you're doing to kind of inspire that younger generation and why it's so important.
Yeah, the fact is our world is getting smaller, right? I mean, we have about 35% of our populations here is non-white. It's very diverse. And I think one of the things that we don't focus enough on is really how to prepare our students for that global community that they're going to be living in, much more so than we are, right? So it's important for us to kind of give them the skills, the knowledge set, to be more prepared and be successful in their lifetime. That is through, we have an education program called the Global Citizenship Program, year-long program. We've introduced students to all kinds of issues through learning opportunities. And then we also have international exchange programs that students can apply to that are all paid for, federal programs. Lots of students do not know about this. And also
a lot of people are like perking up right now going, what do you mean?
And also, they get to host students from all these different places, even if they can't travel themselves. So I think it's really making sure that we have a global mindset, especially now.
And it's so important to teach young kids just how to be a good citizen.
That's exactly
how to give back and be a good citizen. And
global citizenship is a really important thing that I don't think we appreciate as much as we can't live in our little bubbles anymore, because people are coming in and we are traveling and things are crossing borders. Like the pandemic, it doesn't know anything about borders, right? It's going to happen. And when we see something like this, the impact is felt very directly. I think more so now than it's ever felt like before.
More aware, and what a way to kind of introduce people to, now that you're aware, and now that we have your attention, what can we do to move forward together to have a better world, a better planet, a better Kentucky, if you begin here. So we're talking about Give for Good and this big day of giving. How do the Give for Good funds and all that support help you all throughout the year with these programs?
Sure. A lot of our programs has a cost to it, obviously. And one of the things that we really want to do is really kind of have it give greater access to more people to be able to enjoy some of those, whether it's the education programs, so that we can provide more scholarships for students to actually go through these programs without having to pay any extra, to be able to facilitate some of these exchange programs, and pay for some of the events that we always have throughout the year, and just give students and others access to be able to come and listen to some of these really interesting talks and engage in conversations that are completely, something that they don't get to do.
Normally wouldn't be exposed to. Xiao, thank you so much for stopping by.
You.
So if you're listening and you're like, okay, I really want to help out the World Affairs Council, I want to get involved, all you have to do is go to one website and check them out, giveforgoodlouisville.org.